Now, let's continue. The common law does not require a contract. However, as I already stated, the Basic Conditions of Employment Act states that you should have a contract of employment of some sort. Now, the person who was my mentor when I was still young and who trained me very well in labor relations and according to the labor laws, once told me, don't kill the trees because it's unnecessary to write a whole book in a contract. And I agree. After many years, I must give it to him now. I agree with him because in the beginning I said, no, you must write everything in that contract. And I drafted the places that I worked for, Anglo-American and the Institute for Research and all those places. I drafted documents 16 pages long because they required it. Even my contract at DHL Supply Chain, I drafted it because I want to cover everything. Now I realize, yes, you have to write everything in the contract. However, what you can do to just save a little bit of trees in South Africa is that you refer in the document. You have to do your basic conditions once again. You have to put in your leave. You have to put in what the position is about, what the person has been employed for, the salary, the sick leave that the person is entitled to, the basic stuff that one can think of. And if you think about my contracts that I've drafted throughout the years, the most pages that I come to is normally 7. With a temporary contract now, because it's the appointment, the duration of the contract, which is absolutely crucial, because that person, if you go wrong in any way in the duration of the contract and you don't stipulate in the contract what the duration is or what it will entail, you are absolutely in for an unfair dismissal case against you as the employer. So here we have a little bit of a plus for you who are the employee, because this was not stipulated. You have to have the remuneration, sick leave, annual leave, expiry of the termination of employment. You're going to cover that termination till you're blue in the face. And then you have to also cover your confidentiality and your company policies. Now, the company policies, you're definitely not going to sit there and write every policy under the sun into this contract. And I don't expect your employer to have done that. But at least, if it is a small company, they should have the basic policies in place where you, the employer, can go and have a look at what their policies state. Now, the bigger the company grows, the more policies obviously you will have, because there are much more legalities that creeps in now. Can I ask you, if you forgot about, you didn't have a copy of this contract?
No, I did not.
Okay. Now, what was your expectation? You don't even know exactly what was the date that was stated in here. Am I right?
You're correct.
So what's your expectation of your employment with this employer?
That they employed me and I'm going to work permanently for them as a sales representative in Gauteng.
Yes. So you expected, am I right? You're expecting that this position would have continued. Am I right?
Correct.
Now, employers, this is exactly what I'm warning against, is that here sits a man, a reasonable person, and he had the expectation as a sales representative of this company that his position will continue after the dates of which he was not even certain was mentioned in this document. So the law states very clearly, the moment that there is an expectation, a reasonable expectation, I don't say that you should come up with an unreasonable expectation. That is nonsense also. But the fact is that you in goodwill, you believe that, okay, this is going to continue. Was there ever any discussions during this period, and it was a very long period, where it discussed your work performance?
Never. They never discussed anything with me.
Did they come back to you? Because we see here it's a trial period. and we're now going to accept that it's a sort of a probation period. Now, this probation period in the South African law stipulates that it is a period where the employer and the employee will have an opportunity to suss out if this person is suitable, because you can make a mistake with an appointment, and so could you make a mistake with regards to the employment that you accept. It could not be the company that you feel you want to work for, and that's exactly what the probationary period is there for. But it's a period of evaluation from both parties, where both parties on a regular basis needs to just sit around the table and have a discussion. Bigger companies, medium-sized companies, you must have a formal process. You must have it in a policy where it will state clearly what the human resources will do and how the managers should act. And for the employee, it must also be a period where this person can come forth and say, I'm not really happy about this, or could you assist me with this and this? This is exactly what it's all about. It's a two-way communication during the probationary period. Did you ever had a session like that?
Never.
Now, in retrospect, do you think that you were a good employee?
I did my work very well for them, Gauteng, and I brought a lot of customers in for them.
Thank you very much.
I had to do quotations for.
Yes.
And I did it for them.
Thank you. So let's carry on. We're going to carry on with the next session now, where we're going to go a little bit more into the probationary period, as well as to cover a little bit more about your contract.